Welcome, everyone. This is the Save Point Podcast. This is episode 60, which is to me, it's a milestone. I am your host, Dan, and I have, as always, my great crew joining me. Chris is here.
What's up?
Ryan.
Yo.
And we have Z returning again with us. So Hello. So, Juan is not able to make it, but he'll be back sooner or later. But this is episode 60. We're kicking off summer, and I think what better way to kick off summer than to talk about this thing that has kind of replaced E3, which before we get into that, I know we kind of talked about E3 before in past episodes. There was an announcement today that supposedly E3 is coming back in 2023. What's your guys' thought on that? Like, what do you think about that?
I mean, it's going to be, that's my thought.
I think that it's going to be a really good, it's going to be a nice little return. I feel like a lot of people lost a lot of things during the pandemic, and I feel like E3 was one of them, but that in general, that was something that all gamers looked forward to see all of the fun new upcoming things that all of the different studios had to show us. And I think that being able to get something like that back is going to be, at the very least, a nice little motivational, like, hey, look at what we can do now, you know?
Very true. So I think I agree with you on that, but there was already so many people pulling away. Like Nintendo pulled away a long time ago. PlayStation pulled away that they weren't doing a live event with them anymore. They just did digital. So really, the only big player was Xbox that was doing live events, and those consistently felt very non-original. Like everything was kind of copied from the previous year. That was kind of like the consensus back and forth. So I agree with you. I think that it would be great to have a convention back, but does it have to change the format? Ryan, you haven't mentioned. Do you think the format needs to change to pull these big companies back?
Well, they're going to have to change a lot of things. Without the big companies, people aren't going to show, because that was the big draw, is that it was everyone in one place presenting everything they have coming in the future. If you only have Xbox, then, well, you kind of lose a large portion of the gaming audience, because if you look at the numbers, historically, Xbox owns only one console. Out of all consoles that have ever been made, they only have one console that breaks the top 10 for most units sold. The rest is Nintendo and PlayStation. Without those two, you're losing a large portion of the gaming audience.
I agree. I get what you're saying with that. But I mean, even though them going digital, like, I mean, do we see an actual return to like physical on stage presentations? I mean, because those cost a lot. I mean, those cost a lot of money to put on for a matter of an hour and a half, when you can kill it with just as good as a digital presentation that you basically put somebody in front of a camera and then it's editing. And what is it? You got just, manpower to create a great video compared to, millions of dollars, I don't want to say millions, but hundreds of thousands of dollars to put on a presentation.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of, if the big companies do come back and they only do it digitally, that's kind of misses the point for me. Like I always go back to this one thing. One of the best presentations for an upcoming game. It had an orchestra. It had all this shock and awe. It was a big presentation. Was when they first introduced the new God of War. That was a big fucking deal, and they did it in this really epic way. With digital, you kind of lose that.
Yeah, I remember that. That was like that was right at the beginning of. Nobody knew that was even like in the works at all. Like nobody even knew that God of War was there. It was the unveil of it, and I remember the whole build up with the orchestra, and then out of the darkness comes Kratos. all in, all new 3D and just looking phenomenal. Yeah, I'm fanboying right now.
I mean, I agree and disagree at the same time. I mean, what I would love to, if they're going to do it, they need to go straight up old school. I want to see like hundreds of different game studios, testing booths, just to get your hands on the experience, because that's what E3 used to be. You can go to this once a year thing and check everything out and speak to the developers and get the your hands-on knowledge right then and there, instead of waiting around and looking for a developer interview on stream. It's like, I mean, I understand COVID had a lot to do with all that, of course, but I mean, it maybe wouldn't hurt just to take a look at what they did 5-10 years ago and start doing that again.
I definitely think that Chris just hit the nail on the head right there with what he said, because that's the E3 that I used to get excited about, was where it wasn't just the big three, It's, being able to have a once-a-year, convention-type video game deal where other developers are able to show up and show off what they have, It's kind of like an in-person creator spotlight. I think that would be ideal if they were able to go back to that, and I'm wondering if now that we're beginning to kind of come out of the pandemic, stay away from public places mindset, that if maybe some of the Sony, how they went digital, if they would come back,
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I think the thing that would be interesting is that they do go back to that, because you're right. That is what I'm used to. I remember knowing that it's there, and I didn't want to take a PTO day from work, and I knew that really the only big day were the days that the big three were having their conferences. The rest of the time was just kind of stuff I knew I could look up on the internet while I was at work. So I remember calling off sick, and being because I want to stay home and watch this stuff. I think there was one time Xbox was on, what was that, Spike TV?
No, you're thinking of G4.
Well, I mean, yeah, I know G4 had them. I know Spike TV had them. I know that you could try to stream them, and 9 times out of 10, because back then streaming wasn't great and video production wasn't great or whatever, so you would just hope that the video wouldn't crash on you, because there was too many people trying to log in and watch it and all that. Ryan, I think there was a time that 1 or 2 times you came over to the apartment and we watched it during the day.
Yeah, we did that when we lived together. We used to both sit there and watch it.
That's right, we did. That was right at the closer to the ending of what would be the traditional E3s.
Yeah, we would sit back, we'd grab a case of beer, we would sit back and we'd watch everything every single day, pretty much.
Yeah, basically. I remember that my last one that I really could remember watching all day and all of that was so Ryan alluded to, Ryan and I used to be roommates, and I ended up having to move to Detroit for work. Okay. And I remember going through, and it was June, and as I'm trying to watch this E3 stuff, and I know PlayStation had a later conference, because at some point it transitioned, Sony became a prime time one to watch. Xbox was kind of in the morning. Nintendo was usually on Tuesdays, the day after. I remember that my boss, an older boss, kept calling me and was like, "Hey, we have a place down in St. Louis. Would you maybe want to come down and check this out? Would you maybe want to help out and try to get them going and set up the account?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, no problem. Let me know what you want me to do. When do you want me to do it?" And, I get off the phone with them and I go back to watching the E3 stuff. And then, he ends up calling me again. So, the first call was at 8:30 in the morning. The next call is at 10. And like throughout the day, he kept calling me like, hey, when would you be available? Hey, did you ever have any write-ups? Hey, do you like it up in Detroit? But I'm like, yeah, whatever. And now I get to the point where it's like Sony is on, and he's called me like 3 times during the Sony conference. And as you guys know, you know, I'm a Sony person. You know, I'm a PlayStation guy. So now I'm getting like frustrated because like I can't pause it. I'm missing stuff. He's talking to me. So finally he calls me up and I go, hey, are you just going to make me the fucking director down there or not and give me the job? Because that's what it sounds like. And he's like, yeah, that's actually kind of what I want you to do. We're going to have a plane for you at like 3, 4 in the morning. Can you be ready for that? Like, can you make it to the airport at like 3 in the morning for your flight? And I'm like, sure. So one of the nights after that, I flew down to St. Louis, and then I ended up moving to St. Louis. So that was like my last like big remembering of an E3 event. But with that, moving on to the next thing. With E3 not being here, Jeff Keighley has kind of come out and created this Summer Game Fest, which I think, what is it? Is it like 3 years now? Chris, maybe you can help me with this one. I think it's like 3 years that he's been doing this.
Yeah,
maybe 4.
Pretty much since like the year before, like 2019. So we're going on 3.
Yeah, so
because they pulled out of E3 before COVID.
Correct. Yeah, he pulled out of E3. Okay, so today was the first event of 2022 for Summer Game Fest. So we're going to go over and we're kind of talk about some of the announcements and kind of get our reactions to it. I think we're just going to go kind of down the line. I don't think that they appeared in this order, but they might have. So kind of give our impressions. So guys, just kind of jump in and chime in when you feel something you want to talk about. So the first one that they talked about was Street Fighter. Guile is coming back. I kind of like this like newy, like graffiti looking flowing of Street Fighter. I'm not a huge Street Fighter fan. I don't remember really playing Street Fighter 5. But I think it looks cool. I love Guile and you know, I think I should do my hair like that one time.
That's a great art style. Yeah, I'll agree with that.
I think something that I'm looking forward to, because I'm really big personally on fighting games, especially the Sword Calibur series. That's my personal favorite. But I think that something I'm looking forward to is the open world exploration that they say will be coming along with Street Fighter 6. I don't know how that's going to look. I'm not used to seeing open world takes on fighting games, but I am intrigued, to say the very least.
Have you played Dragon Ball Z Kakarot? Is it Dragon Ball Z Kakarot or Dragon Ball Kakarot or whatever?
So I know what you're talking about. I have a very good friend of mine who is obsessed with it, and so is his roommate. I personally have not played it. I did not grow up on Dragon Ball. I grew up on Pokemon, so I strayed towards the Pokemon games rather than the Dragon Ball ones.
No, exactly where Dan's going at, though. It's like, that's pretty much exactly what like Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is. It's literally an open world where you play the story, and that's it. There's nothing else to it.
Well, you play as your character too. Like, you create your own character. You don't play as another character. No. You only play on Kakarot. You only play as Goku and all the main cast. Yep. You get the main cast as like your trainers, or you can get one of the main cast members as your trainer. So, Chris, with you knowing me, Ryan, I doubt you'll know this. Who was the one that I went towards? Who was the trainer I wanted?
In Kakarot?
Yeah.
I don't think you
Piccolo.
You are not.
No, I don't want Piccolo.
I'm gonna stop you right now because you don't know what you're talking about. And if anybody who listens to this game has played Dragon Ball Z Kakarot as much as me, they're kind of like hitting their head. Like you don't get a trainer. You play as each character through the entire story from Dragon Ball's entrance.
Don't you play as your own character?
No, you don't. You're thinking of Xenoverse.
Am I thinking of Xenoverse?
Yes.
Well, I mean, they're basically the same game. Every Dragon Ball Z game has been the same game because it's been the same story for what 30 years now.
Yeah.
I would most want to play as the precious little tiny Goku with a tail, who I believe is maybe Gohan.
No. You're thinking of Goku and Dragon Ball.
Oh
Yep.
no.
Yeah, see, the tail changed him into the big monkey.
The Ozaru.
Yeah, those are.
I know there's I just know there's a tiny child with a tail, and I'm like intrigued by them.
Yep, that's Goku until his tail gets cut off.
Oh no!
Yep,
No, he
it's
voluntarily did that.
yep. And if you squeeze the tail, that's like his weak spot.
Oh well, no wonder he cut it off.
Yeah. So, no, it was Vegeta.
too.
Vegeta's been my favorite Dragon Ball Z character through everything.
I was going
I'm
to
the
say
Prince of
Vegeta,
all
that's not the only
Saiyans.
name I know.
Yeah,
Is it the superiority complex that you admire?
it's how short he is. How short he is and how I want that hair.
That's what it is.
Yep. So I just always thought that if I ever could go Super Saiyan, that's the way that I would want my hair to go. Would be Vegeta's, just that straight up like.
I am so lost right now.
There's so many Dragon Ball.
I literally
Z,
said the name of the only character I can remember other than Goku.
Piccolo.
That's the only one I can remember. I'll fucking watch that shit.
Yep. Dragon Ball's awesome.
That was
Okay.
me with Vegeta guess.
Next one, Aliens: Dark Descent. I haven't
mean,
played any
if you
Aliens
like-
game.
If you like the fire team, it sounds like it's gonna be that.
Yeah. I don't know. I just never played any Aliens games. I don't know if you guys have or not.
So I've watched a number of playthroughs of Aliens games on YouTube, despite having never played them myself. Mostly because I'm a fan of horror, but I don't do so well playing horror games. So I watch other people do it. And I think that the Alien series is really, really interesting, and I like the ambiance that they put into their games, so I'm looking forward to seeing what comes out of this next one.
It definitely seems like though they're going the looter shooter route with multiple Xeno aliens. Because the last Aliens game that came out, that horror one, that was fantastic, and they did everything just right. But then they came out with like Aliens, like Fire Team Alpha or whatever it's called, and it's all it is. It's like it's a shooter.
Interesting. So, this next one I'm actually really interested in, just because of the person, and I just looked it up. Just to make sure I had all of his information correctly. Again, Schofield, or Schofield, I gotta say that correctly. He used to do the Dead Space games. He worked for Sledgehammer, and I can't remember the other one that he had. What was it? EA. I know that he did EA. He worked for EA for a while. Visceral. That's it. So he worked Visceral Games. He was a co-founder of Sledgehammer Games. Is the Callisto Protocol.
You definitely got the feelings from it, from like Dead Space feelings, right? I was the only one.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I love the Dead Space games. I played all three of them. I love them. I can't wait for the remake. I love gory games like this. I absolutely love gory games like this. So the Callisto Protocol, I don't know. I'm just looking forward to it. This was when I was looking at this, I was like, yes, I'm getting another. And they called out that. So the trailer that they showed a couple days ago, compared to the trailer that showed today, is they call it the Schofield cut. So it's a lot more gory. I mean, the guy's face gets bitten, ripped off, and you just see splattering of blood coming out of a half-eaten face. It's amazing. So I'm happy with this one.
Me too.
I think that I will also be looking for playthroughs of this one because, as I just mentioned, I'm not the best at playing scary games, but I love all things horror. So even though it's on the gorier side, which is not usually what I personally rotate towards, I think that it'll be interesting to see, because I do love Dead Space. I love watching Dead Space. I actually tried playing Dead Space once upon a time, which is how I found out I was very bad at playing horror games. But I'm super duper intrigued by it.
I just want to go down the line of this guy's games that he's done something with. He's either been a director or a producer on. And so you got to think of it. He's done the Dead Space games. He's doing this gory game here. Okay. And I won't go through all of them, but I find it funny what some of these directors work on. So first off, he did a couple of Call of Duties. He did a Black Ops. He did Modern Warfare 3, Advanced Warfare, World War II. So that's kind of his other kind of forte is the Call of Duties. But he worked on the Legacy of Kain and the Blood Omen games, which are really good. Which I can kind of see his art style or his producing style with that. And you play those games and some of the Dead Space games and the pacing of them. So he has that. He worked on Home Improvement Power Tool Pursuit in '94. The Ren and Stimpy.
Hey, don't you knock that. That's one of the greatest video games ever made. That's right up there with Lawn Mowing Simulator.
True. So Home Improvement, Ren and Stimpy, Buckaroos, which was a great game. What is it? Super Battle Tank. He did Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. The Adventures of Bullwinkle, Rocky and Bullwinkle. The Simpsons Batman meets Radioactive Man. And I think his claim to fame out of all of them that nobody ever talks about is he was the art director and lead artist for Barbie Game Girl. I love...
Wait. He was the art director for fucking what?
Barbie Game Girl.
That was a thing?
That's a real game.
Jesus Christ.
That's a real game.
As somebody who's in that demographic, yes, it is a real thing.
Oh God.
Z, tell me you had like the Barbie one where you...
Did they at least have the Barbie Girl song in the game? Because there's no point without the song.
Let's see, 91. When
the Aqua
Barbie Girl.
No, that was before that. That was before Aqua.
Boo.
Let's see, Aqua came out in 1997, and that Barbie game came out in 1991. So a whole 6 years prior. But
yeah,
Z,
there was like a whole like weird age of video gaming where they were like turning dolls into video games, and it was really, really weird, but I absolutely owned a bunch of the Bratz doll ones. So, both of my childhood best friends had the Barbie game, though.
So
yeah, I don't know if they had fun music in them, but I know my friends were like, yeah, Barbie Game Girl! And I was like, oh boy. Because I was a tomboy child.
Well, if it does help for your horror game needs, if when this does come out, if you go to Twitch and type in the Save Point TV, all one word, you can actually watch it play it.
The Barbie game?
Yes.
We gotta find a Barbie game.
Now streaming on our Twitch channel. Barbie Game Girl.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm all for that.
Yep. So Z, I have to ask, did you have the Barbie game that was like you got to ride different horses?
Oh my god, yes!
Called it.
We got to give them like makeovers, and we got to put glittery stickers on their bodies, which is totally not normally okay, but Barbie Land, so yes. And we got to like feed them, and then we got to ride them, and there were like little obstacle courses that you had to like jump over, like the little, I don't even know what they're called, obstacles. Horses, I think, actually are technically what they're referred to in construction, but yeah.
Yay! So, welcome back to the Save Point podcast and Z talking about all the Barbie games.
That actually sounds like Chris's type of game because there's a horse.
Oh.
I forgot about that one.
Yep. Okay. Well, just so we can get back to this, just so everybody knows that Barbie Game Girl is a platform game where Barbie must find an outfit for her date with Ken. The environment features a shopping mall level, an underwater level, and other worlds to explore. This game is also centered on collecting gems and pearls to fend off opponents. Enemies in the game included the usual sharks found in underwater levels. In addition to jellyfish, moving cubes of sugar must be defeated in the game. The bonus rounds of the game essentially are a concentration type of game, which matchmaking identical cards. The game received a 2.5 out of 5. Power Unlimited a long time ago gave it a 65% in their review. And German game reviewer Acolera Software gave it a rating of 3 out of 12. So, though a 3.3 review from Nintendo Power praised the easy gameplay and called it the game perfect for fans of Barbie. So, and that will do it for our show. No.
What happened? I fell asleep.
Yep. So going from the Callisto Protocol to the Barbie game, let's go back to the next thing that was unveiled, and this was a very lengthy demo, if you want to call it. I don't even know if you really call it a demo. Was the new Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Now, I'm excited for Modern Warfare 2. I liked Modern Warfare 2, the original. In fact, I even loved Modern Warfare 3. But, I mean, I get the whole visuals, and it should, like, to me, it's now next gen, so you should have the upped visuals. You want to do a war game, you want to do a gun game, you want to do a first-person shooter, you want to have this realistic, it needs to look realistic. So it does not impress me that it looks realistic, because it should. But to me, nothing was jumping out as I watched this to say, hey, this is new, this is innovative, besides, like, moving cover. So, like, there's, like, they're on a ship, so the ship is swaying, so there's, like, cargo things that are moving. So you could have cover one time, and then you could have cargo, and then it moves, and then you're out of cover. Like, that's not innovative to me. I get it, and I think that's a cool engine, or a cool, like, thing within the engine that it can happen. But I don't know, I wasn't necessarily impressed.
I personally feel like Call of Duty over the years, they were so used to being the de facto shooter that, other than, it was like them and Halo, and those were like the only two you would ever hear about, that I feel like they kind of let themselves get taken with the fact that they feel like if they just put out a game, people are going to buy it, because it's Call of Duty, bruh. You gotta play Call of Duty.
Yeah.
But, you know what I mean? Like, so I feel like they let themselves get swept away with that, while games like Destiny were, like, coming out of the woodwork and actually showing some pretty cool, innovative, different things, and now Call of Duty is putting out another game, and people are like, I don't know, it seems like a lot of the same that we're used to, but with better graphics, which is what you would expect out of any new game coming out. So I feel like there's a lot left to be desired.
Dan, she
know
wrote
that whole-
Destiny. Your thoughts?
Lot less to be desired. I know, Chris, you want me to get back into it.
I really want you to get back into it because I think you would actually enjoy it now.
I just came back to Destiny after having like a 2 or 3 year hiatus, and yeah, I'm having a great time now.
How great was the Witch Queen expansion?
Oh my god, okay. Well, I love horror stuff, so of course, like, going back to the Hive and bringing Eris back in and everything was just absolutely...
Oh, it was...
You should just told me the story. I don't need to play it now.
So epic. So good. No, there's a lot that you don't know, boy!
No, I do got a question. When are we going to play ESO? Because what, High Isle just came out, didn't it? Or it's coming out?
I haven't had an ESO subscription in quite some time. I might go back to it at some point, but the one friend that I had that played with me has stopped playing, which caused me to... I tried to continue without them for a while and just rely on my guild for stuff, and like fun co-op things, but it got repetitive and boring after a while for me.
I'll be your friend.
Thanks.
Ryan, do you want to say something?
I got nothing on this. I don't play either of those fucking games. I tried ESO for a little while, but it didn't take me more than a month to be like, yeah, I'm bored.
Well, I do find it funny, or not funny. I do find it ironic. So, when it comes to Ryan and Elder Scrolls, okay, so out of nowhere, Ryan texts me or messages me while we're playing. I'm playing on this is PlayStation 4, and he says, "Hey, what is better, Shadow of War or Shadow of Mordor? Because War wasn't out yet. So Shadow of Mordor or Skyrim?" And I went, I think you'll have more fun with Shadow of Mordor compared to Skyrim because you don't like that first person look. You'd rather see your character and jump around, and that's all okay, you like Shadow of Mordor. I don't think you ever actually turned on Shadow of Mordor, did you?
I did. But then I discovered that you can switch the view in Skyrim. And then I started playing Skyrim. And then... What year is it?
Thank
Yeah.
God.
What year is it?
So,
I lost a few years of my life.
yeah,
Well,
right.
It
Right.
happened.
That happens when you play Skyrim.
The thing that gets
And then I got then I switched. Then the mods came out for the systems, and I bought an Xbox because PlayStation was being little bitches about the mods. So I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna play this on Xbox with all the mods." And what year is it?
Yeah, literally bought an Xbox. I forgot what type of Xbox you got, but bought an Xbox. I think you got a One X too.
It's still in my
beefier one.
closet. I don't know. I got to give that to somebody.
I want it. I want it.
All right, you can just have it. I don't even want money for it.
Awesome. But yeah, it goes over. He calls me up one day. He's just like, "Yeah, I bought an Xbox so I can have more mods in Skyrim." I don't think he bought another game.
Yes. Oh my god.
No, literally, the first mod, because the mod that made me do it is I read about it and I was like, I need this in my life. It was a mod that basically, it turns you into a literal god because it adds Mjolnir, Thor's hammer, and Thor's armor as a weapon. And I was like, I'm starting a new game with this. And it puts them in a chest right outside of the starting area.
Beautiful.
So you grab it and you're just destroying everything. I was like, this is the greatest experience ever.
Yeah, no, literally, when you were saying that that you had to choose between, Shadow of Mordor and Skyrim, I was like, and Dan said that you would have more fun with Shadow of Mordor. I'm like, no, I feel like it would be the exact opposite based on my boyfriend's experience, actually, because he was a huge Skyrim nerd, loved it, then Shadow of Mordor came out and he was like, well, this seems like fun, got it, played it, and that was some of the most frustrated I have ever seen my even keel man. Because the bosses learn from you, so if you defeat them in in the campaign, for whatever reason, they learn from how you fought them and come back strong. And that is just... He had to sit up in a ceiling for 3 hours just shooting arrows at one of the bosses because he had fought him so many times that the boss was resistant to everything except for arrows.
Yep. And then the other ones, because you have this whole army-based
I don't mean to
ranking
interrupt
system.
you. I don't mean to interrupt you, but in my defense, see, when I was making that choice, mind you, this was after Shadow of Mordor came out. I had never even entertained the idea of playing Skyrim. So I'd never even touched the game. So it was literally the choice of playing Skyrim for the first time or Mordor for the first time. Dan based my preference off the fact that of games he's known I've played. Mm-hmm. And then I got Skyrim, and Skyrim completely changed my mindset on what types of games I like.
Very fair.
Yep. So moving on. Flashback 2. Now, I looked up Flashback the original, I've never played this. This was a Super Nintendo game. I actually never played this game. They made a big, huge thing that has been so long since Flashback. I don't know. Have you guys ever played the original Flashback? I don't know if you can call me a gamer for not playing it.
Hearing about this game called Flashback, so
I've never heard of it.
Neither have I.
So we'll just kind of move on. It looks pretty cool. You know, maybe I'll look and see. It looks like Flashback came out on the Switch. So maybe I'll check it out. It looks kind of interesting. It's very pixelated, and old school looking, but whatever. Fort Solace looks pretty cool. That was the next one. That's a brand new game. What pulled me into this was Troy Baker and Roger Clark play two different characters in this game. I love Troy Baker and Roger Clark from Red Dead Redemption 2.
Roger Clark is a legend.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just, you know, it's you're colonizing Mars, and you know, it seems that there's, you know, shooting and stuff, and it looks pretty cool. You know, like I said, what pulled me in was Troy Baker and Roger Clark. That would make me be intrigued about the game.
I'm intrigued by anything that has someone who has played or voiced the Joker. So yeah, it has my attention.
Yep. I think we got the next game that came on. I think this is the first one that seems to be an Xbox or PC exclusive. And that was a game called Routine. It's a sci-fi horror game. Looked interesting, kind of teasy. You know, guy was walking down like a staircase and looking through things, and he turns around and he has this like robot that's attacking him, and he kind of grabs the robot, and then the robot kind of head just kind of turns and stares at him, and then the trailer ends. Interesting. Not really scary to me, but I don't know.
I like horror that's more on the psychological end rather than jump scares, and it seems like this game is going to be possibly relying more on jump scares than other facets of horror that I prefer more personally. So I'm not the most sure that I'll be checking this one out, but I might.
Yeah. So speaking of that, Z, tell me, we should do a stream. Have you heard of The Quarry?
I have heard of that, yes.
We should get together, if it's either, you know, digitally or in person, and you and I should stream playing this game, The Quarry.
Yeah, for sure. I'd be down.
Yeah, and if you guys, Ryan and Chris, if you guys want to join too.
The fuck is The
Thank
Quarry?
you for keeping me in mind.
Yeah, Quarry is just kind of like a survival. Like you choose, like it's a story narrative game. You kind of choose what to do, and then like the story plays out. So there's it's
like that Batman Telltale.
Yeah, to a point. Yeah. So I don't really know how much action is actually in it, but it seems that like it's just very story driven. So and then by your choices of what to do, you know, hey, we have keys and a full tank of gas in the car, and the car's running, and let's get away from the killer. No, let's go hide behind the rusty chainsaws in the shed. You know.
So you choose to be smart or a teenager in the 80s.
Yep.
Pretty much.
I think it's actually at a summer camp too. So I don't know. We should play it though. Stormgate. It looks like it's from Giant Studios.
I mean, it does.
Stormgate.
Video looked cool, but there's no gameplay there, so there's nothing for me to judge on that.
Yeah, me neither. It's a real-time strategy game though too. So, I mean, it's cool that there's a real-time strategy game coming out, but once again, I think I'm kind of like looking at these games and being like, okay, am I going to buy this at full price, or am I waiting for either a Steam sale or an Epic Store sale to look at these?
Most of them, I'm right there with you on waiting until there's a sale.
Big agree.
Yeah.
Definitely how I feel about this one. About Stormgate.
Yeah.
But Goat Simulator 3, day one buy.
Wait, hold on. Oh, yeah, hold on. Hold on. We're going to get to that one. We have High Water. This did not intrigue me at all. Like, I care less about this game. A narrative-driven isometric survival game, I care less.
I also could care less.
So if that's your thing, go ahead. But the next one, Coffee Stain Studios. I love it. The fact that how they set it up. So Dead Island 2 has been. How long is Dead Island 2? Chris, I remember us playing Dead Island 2.
Yeah.
Or not 2, but Dead Island, the first one.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of fun. I mean, it's just a obviously zombie, first person, whatever. And then they came out with this that Dead Island 2 is supposed to be coming out. And it's this guy jogging, and then before you know it, it's like he's in pieces or whatever. And God, that trailer came out so long ago. And still, we don't have Dead Island 2. So the way that they set it up, like, they started this whole trailer again of this guy jogging, and then it ends up being, like, he turns around and here's, like, 4 goats that are, like, armed to the teeth. And it's Goat Simulator 3. So...
I can't get over one thing you said. What is the name of the studio?
Coffee
You say
Stain.
Coffee... Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, Coffee Stain Studio.
It just makes me think of a Bill Clinton joke.
Oh God. Okay, moving on. Has anybody
simulator games? I love Deer Simulator. I love all of the cute simulator games. I think they're absolutely delightful, and just if you need a laugh, either play one yourself and you'll get lots of laughs, or watch somebody else play it to your contentment, because they are hilarious to witness, especially the physics.
Any type of goat simulator or farming simulator or whatever, if something train simulator, trucker simulator, if it has simulator in it, always reminds me of the Simpsons joke of
Art doing lawnmower simulator.
Yeah, wow, that was really loud. Yes, exactly that joke. It's the beginning of the episode. It's like there's yard work to do, and Lisa and Bart don't want to do it, and then they end up going to the mall or wherever they're at, and Bart's like, "Look, I want to go into yard work simulator." It's my favorite joke. It's one of my favorite jokes. Next one, Marvel's Midnight Suns. This is actually, so I remember we talked about this before, and Ryan, I know you and I talked about this. Midnight Suns is like an XCOM game, so it's like a turn-based strategy. The fact that I've been getting into Warhammer and Age of Sigmar Warhammer and all of that, and considering that there is an actual Marvel's like tabletop game.
They actually revealed Spider-Man as a playable character.
And Venom.
Yeah, they did. I'm not going to touch the game because I don't care about turn-based, but for people that like that kind of stuff, and you're also a Marvel fan, this is money for you.
Well, the thing that I'm looking at is that, so, I still have my Steam Deck on pre-order. I'm still waiting to be able to actually order it. This would be a perfect game that I would play on a Steam Deck.
I'm sure it will be. I'm not going to knock it. It's just not my type of game, but yeah, it seems like it's going to be a really great game for people who enjoy turn-based style, especially with having the Marvel characters available in the game. Like, look at the characters they've revealed. Like the 2 title characters I see all the time are Blade and Wolverine. That's awesome. Yep. And I think they revealed Scarlet Witch as a character today too.
Yep.
Which is awesome.
Yep.
It's the dark side of It's the dark side of Marvel that's in this game, which is why I'm surprised about Spider-Man. But yeah, the concept is cool as hell.
Yeah, I'm intrigued by it. Cuphead's Delicious Last Course DLC. I think I've only beaten 2 levels in Cuphead. I love Cuphead, but it's so frustratingly, like, I can only play it for so long, and I'm like, okay, before I throw the controller through, I got to drop it, and I can't play it, and then I don't play it for like 6 months, and then I'll pick it up and do it again.
Isn't that with you in every game?
Not really.
No, only Cuphead and NBA 2K. That's the frustrating ones for Dan.
Yep. So, because I can't like slam into people at NBA 2K. I don't understand why. But no, Cuphead is. I mean, I have people that I know people that have played Cuphead and have platinum Cuphead or 100%ed or whatever you want to call it, and absolutely love it. And I'm like, how in the hell did you do that? Cuphead is harder than shit.
Is it harder than Dark Souls?
I wouldn't call it harder than Dark Souls because it's a platformer.
I mean, you play Dark
it's a
Souls,
lot-
so suck it up and finish Cuphead, you pansy.
I should.
He hasn't beaten it.
Oh.
Elden Ring is what we're more talking about. So I do gotta get back in Elden Ring. You're right, guys. There's a lot of games I don't complete that I just have to. So
You kind of have gaming ADD.
I do.
Like you'll
I
get,
really do.
which is why you're good for the show, because you play a little bit of everything. But when it comes to actually the completion, the overall game, you never do it.
Yeah, I gotta start doing that. Because I do have a good bunch of games that I should complete. And that's the weird thing. It's like I'm close to completing them. I just don't. I don't understand why.
The last game I remember you actually playing to its fullest from beginning to end, including DLC and everything 100%, is Spider-Man.
I beat another game prior to that, but I don't think you know. But yeah, I think Spider-Man's one of the last ones that I really did go all the way to completion. So, okay. So Cuphead comes out. That's actually that DLC was dropping June 30th. I'm going to destroy this next game. Its name, and I apologize. It's from the makers of Genshin Impact.
No! How could you do?
Let Z do it. Let Z do it. Let Z do it, for the love of God.
It's my time to shine, friends.
Okay.
Hello, as somebody who actively plays lots and lots and lots of JRPGs and Japanese-style games, not to say that this necessarily is one, because Genshin Impact is from Hoyoverse is who created it, and they are located in Hong Kong, so super fun time. Lots of fun things you can find about the game, and they've had to take certain stances on certain things because of where they're located. And something that I appreciate about Hoyoverse is that they are taking, well, they kind of already did. They took a stand and actually relocated essentially where their main base technically is, so that they can I guess kind of avoid China looking too hard into their game, because they were actually threatened by the Chinese government to some degree about some hyper-feminization in some of the male characters and stuff like that. So happy to see that they're trying to get away from the nonsense that is being tossed at them and their game for, in my opinion, no real reason. But new and upcoming is going to be Honkai Star Rail. Now, the predecessor to Genshin Impact is Honkai Impact 3, and now we're getting Honkai Star Rail. So I'm very hyped for this. You get to choose, just like in Genshin, you get to choose from one of two playable characters, a male or a female. And in this case, they do not seem to actually have a relation. From what I understand, in this new game, it's just going to be either your character was created male if you chose male, or female if you choose female, but in Genshin, the travelers are actually twins, and both of them play into the story. So that's a little bit different here, where you'll just be seeing one of them, one of the two, actively throughout the story. But I am very, very excited to see what they do with this game, if they're going to be taking it closer to the gacha route, or if, and what themes we're basically going to be seeing. I'm really interested also in the events that they're going to end up coming up with for Star Rail, and also to see if they're going to do any crossovers, because that's something that MiHoYo really likes to do, is put a crossover between their own games, which is, honestly, it's so fun when they do that.
So isn't Genshin Impact, like, isn't it like more like medieval?
No. I definitely wouldn't say that it's medieval. It's basically Genshin takes place in a world called Tevat. And you get basically you lost your sister, or brother, depending on the character you chose. I personally chose the male traveler. So in my case, my sister was stolen away from me while we were traveling between worlds, and we were in Tevat, and this random, she's known as the Unknown God. She comes down and just steals your sister away. And the rest of the game is basically you going around to all of the different continents in Tevat that are based on real-world places, and you have to help each of the like the little nations that you go to. You end up helping them with a bunch of whatever cataclysmic event is happening there at that time. But it's very I don't know, it's very anime looking. It's very modern, great graphics, but anime looking. Not anything really that would give me medieval vibes. Currently, we have the first place you go to is based on Germany, and it's called Mondstadt. The second place you go is modeled after, I believe Liyue is China. And then Inazuma, the one that is the most recent release, is modeled after Japan.
And this is all free to play, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It is a gacha game, so there is the wish function where you can choose to spend a special type of currency to roll for new characters and new weapons as well. You get a lot of that special currency for free, but there is also the option, there is an in-game store where you can also purchase more. So if you exhaust all of your free ones, still don't get the character or weapon you want, you can absolutely just, spend every penny you have to get it.
Sounds good. So in other words, you're a little excited about this announcement.
I'm very excited about anything coming out of MiHoYo and the HoYoverse team, and I have Honkai Impact 3 downloaded, but because I've been playing Genshin so regularly for so long at this point that I haven't even actually tried it yet.
So what about then this Zenless Zone Zero? Is that connected to this, or is that's a separate project? Because that's the second thing that they announced.
Yeah, so this I know a lot less about. I actually haven't heard a whole lot about Zenless Zone Zero. I'm not quite sure. I haven't heard anything from the Genshin community about it. Therefore, I don't know a whole lot about it, but I have been hearing a lot about Star Rail.
Okay. Well, maybe it's something I got. I downloaded Genshin like when it first was announced on PlayStation. Mm-hmm. And I just never booted it up. I think I booted it for like an hour, and then I was like, okay, I'm playing something else, and I just never went back to it. So
I will be your guide if you ever need one, especially when it comes to Genshin, because that's my main game, and I don't actually know anybody who plays other than myself, so
we should set up a stream for that. Once again,
I would be so happy to. That's regularly what I stream on our channel anyway.
Yeah, twitch.tv/thesavepointtv. Check us out.
Find me
Ryan.
there for Genshin most Tuesdays.
There you go. Ryan, this next one.
Yes.
I want to know when you and I are playing this, and whoever else wants to jump in on this, because it is 6-person. It looks
I might
amazing.
already know what you're talking about, but go ahead.
The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Shredder's Revenge.
Yes!
Old school style beat up.
Yes! Old school turtles!
Put
this
me
comes
on
out-
that list. I will be with you.
Dude, they announced Casey Jones today. I am in as long as I can be Casey Jones.
And I think this comes out, what is it? Is it next week? I think it comes out on the 16th.
Yeah, they literally just announced Casey Jones as a playable character, and I'm so fucking excited about that. First day they surprised us, they announced April as someone who could finally kick ass. I was like, finally, April O'Neil is going to kick the shit out of somebody. And then they announced Casey Jones. I'm like, this is the first Turtles game that I'm going to play where I don't even want to play as a fucking turtle.
Yep. Next Thursday. Next
Also,
Thursday,
Raphael.
this gets released.
I'm so excited for this. Oh my god.
This is going to be
It's
available
awesome.
This is going to be available on PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. Which means that's also going to be available on PlayStation 5 and Xbox, since it's crossed.
Dude, you have no idea. This gives me serious, like, I have so many memories of playing Turtles in Time, and the style of the games gives me so many vibes of that. I'm just super excited about, like, just time traveling back to my childhood. I feel like I need to go to a Blockbuster Video before I play that game.
Oh, wait a minute, though. It looks like it's only offline co-op multiplayer.
Yeah, which means I have to come to the studio, and we're just going to fucking stream it.
Yeah, I think that's all we're going to have to do.
We're all going to have to get together and play this fucking game.
Yeah, because it's literally 6-player co-op. Yeah. You have what is it? So you have the four turtles. You have April O'Neil. You have Splinter, and you have Casey Jones.
I didn't even know that because I've been trying to keep updated. But Splinter's a playable character too.
Yeah,
Fuck my
Splinter's a
life.
playable character.
Fuck my life. Let's do it.
So it's this, and then the other. Even though they didn't announce anything with it,
And there's 4 of us. Let's play the entire game with 0 turtles involved. We can. Who else are playable?
You need at least 1 turtle because there's only 3 other people that are not turtles. But I get what you're saying. But the other thing that I'm looking for.
The other turtles will be Michelangelo. It's fine.
The other thing that I'm looking really, really, really forward to is the Cowabunga collection.
What is that?
Wait a minute. You have not heard of the Cowabunga collection?
No, I just see snippets of news that pop up on like my Google thing because it all those things I like, and that game pops up a lot.
So Shredder's Revenge is the seventh. Is this one that's coming out? That's a standalone.
Yeah.
The Cowabunga collection is every other Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game.
Wait, that's what it's called? No, I've heard about this. That's what it's called?
Yes.
Turtles in Time is coming back, baby.
Yeah, Turtles in Time, the original arcade game, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game,
the original Nintendo game. Yeah.
Yes, that's all. That's the Cowabunga collection. That's coming.
You want to know frustratingly difficult games? Play some of those fucking games.
Oh yeah. So that is
kids today. I know it's a generational thing to say. Oh, get good. Because they trash people for being bad at games. I dare them to try and play some of these older fucking Turtles games. I dare you.
Oh, I'm not saying any. I'm not saying play them. I'm saying play one.
Play all of them. When you talk about
the original,
when you talk about side-scrolling fighter games, like games where you and your buddies teaming up and fighting things, like Turtles in Time is right up there with like Streets of Rage and Final Fight, all those crazy Battletoads. It's one of the greatest games ever.
The Cowabunga collection, like I said, the original one, I would say it's the original. What is it? The original Nintendo.
When the Turtles all had red masks.
Kinda, because they couldn't animate it properly.
The original, the Turtles. It's because in the comic books, the creator, they originally all had red masks. It was changed later for for merchandising, pretty much. To separate them and how they look, and so everyone, it was altered. But yeah, the original Turtles were originally all had red masks, and it was actually very dark.
It was the original Turtles was very, very dark,
but it was cartooned up for kids and stuff over time. So it didn't hurt it. It became more amazing.
Get this, ready? This is what comes in the Cowabunga collection. These are all the games that come in this collection.
Well, I have to grab a change of underwear.
Okay. It's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the arcade game. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh my god.
Turtles in Time. TMNT NES, the original NES game. TMNT Turtles 2, the arcade game NES. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, the Manhattan Project NES. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighters. TMNT 4, 4 Turtles in Time, the Super Nintendo one. Okay. Tournament Fighters, again, the Super Nintendo Tournament Fighters version of it. The Hyperstone Heist, which is the Sega Genesis version of it. Tournament Fighters, the Sega Genesis version of it. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Fall of the Foot Clan, the Game Boy game. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 Back from the Sewers, the next Game Boy game. And the last one, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 Radical Rescue, the Game Boy game. That all comes in one collection, the Cowabunga collection.
I know what I'm going to be doing until 2023.
Yeah. Well, so right now there's no release date for that one. So the only one that we have a release date is Shredder's Revenge, which we will all be getting, and I expect you over here next Thursday so we can play it.
I love everything about that's happening right now.
So, moving on.
Do we have to?
No. Moving on. One Piece Odyssey. I find One Piece hilarious. I don't know if you guys have ever watched One Piece. I've never played a One Piece game, but I've watched it, and I think it's hilarious.
I am exactly the opposite, where I've only played One Piece games and I have never seen the actual anime because I decided it was entirely too long. But my sister loved the anime and also had all of the games when I was younger, so I've played a number of very fun One Piece games despite not actually watching and enjoying the show.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Raising my hand like I'm in school. What the fuck is a One Piece?
Oh god, that's a whole nother.
If only Luffy could find it, then the show could finally end.
Yeah, it is a long ass manga and anime. That, oh my god, it would be a whole nother episode to try to describe it.
Fair enough. Moving on.
Chris, did you want to say something? I guess not. Saints Row Boss Factory. So Ryan.
Nope.
Nope. You don't want to hear about it?
I know, it's where you create your character before the game comes out, blah, blah, blah. So you could choose not to make him look like his home base is a coffee shop, I guess.
Yeah, like you can create all of that. Like that's all customizable. So like you don't have to have the coffee shop gang. You can have whatever you want. So I'm still wondering whether or not you're going to get this game.
No, like I never even played Saints Row when the boss, I forget what game it was. It was the one right before Get Out of Hell. I think it's Saints Row 4 where the boss became the president of United. I don't know. Shit got way too goofy for me.
Supposedly they go back to like the second one.
It crossed the line for me into 2. Like, you know, we both know I enjoyed 3, even as nuts as it was. That game started to cross the line for me, and then it just... I get they were trying to create their own identity outside GTA, but it just became... I like to have fun. I'm not knocking it. I'm not knocking GTA 3. Not GTA 3, Saints Row 3. It's just... It crossed the line to where it just became, okay, this is getting kind of stupid. And then Saints Row 4 and Get Out of Hell just kind of fucking... They went off in a direction that I couldn't do it anymore.
I think you're going to end up liking it.
When you started getting superpowers, that's where I draw the line.
Yeah, I think you're going to end up liking this because of what they've shown, but I think you're going to have to see it first. But I think it's going to pull you in. I think this is one to be those ones where you're like, no, and then you're going to look at it and you'll be like, wait a minute, maybe. I'm not saying yes, I'm just saying maybe.
Look, after it comes out, if they say this is basically like as great as Saints Row 2, I will fucking play it. But
they're saying it is like Saints Row 2. It's a cross between 1 and 2. Like the 3 and 4, they've gotten rid of that crap.
Because Saints Row 2 even still had it had funny shit in it, but didn't cross that line to where it was like, all right, this is getting kind of fucking stupid.
Yeah, this is supposedly going back to the roots.
As long as they keep the dildo bad, I'm in.
Okay. And with that, Chris. I don't know if you've seen this one, but when I saw this the first time, like a year ago, and then I saw this one, I thought of you that you would like a game like this. Have you looked up anything with Nightingale?
Interesting.
So it's like a multiverse. It kind of goes with the trend now because of the MCU is causing this. Is multiverse, and that game kind of taps into that trend right now.
Yeah, and
that's cool.
Chris, Chris popped back in. So, Chris, have you heard about Nightingale? Because to me, this is
I am super excited.
When I saw this, I'm like, this is a game for Chris. Like, this is a Chris game.
Oh, definitely.
There's a horse.
So just a quick little thing on there. So Nightingale is described as a share a world player versus environment game in which players will fight and craft through the Victorian fantasy world and visit plenty of different realms. The cards that you craft, it seems, are very important for realm hopping.
It's going to be a Victorian arc survival.
Yeah. Which to me just looks absolutely incredible, especially if you can team up with people. And then, like I said, the realms that you open in your world then affect your world. So then, when people open up your realm, it's different from when you open up other people's realms.
It's going to be fun.
That's the gist I get from this game, which to me I think is awesome because you really never know what kind of level you're going into. So, here's another. So from there, Layers of Fear. It's by Bloober Teams. I mean, this is a psychological, psychedelic horror franchise. Once again, it seems very narrative driven. So once again, I think it's just Grace. I think this is one again, once again, Z. I think this is one of those games that you and I would look at.
Oh, 1,000,000,000%. Yeah, I'm actually really interested in what they're going to do with Layers of Fears.
Yeah,
it's everything that I enjoy about horror games, just kind of collected and plopped into a game, from what I can tell. So I might actually even try and play that one myself, even though I'm not very good at horror games.
It sounds like one you're gonna have to play in the studio with Dan there, just in case.
I can have backup that way.
That's exactly the thought process. That way you could have backup.
She could also have her boyfriend there too. So
he can come too. Hey, Ninja Turtles is a 6-player game.
Hey, I know him. I mean, I'll cuddle with him too. So.
Excellent. I will let him know of all of these propositions he's been given.
Does he enjoy cuddling?
Long walks on the beach, sunsets.
I don't know what your definition of that word is. But
I need a minute.
While you need a minute.
That was good. Oh, that was good. Z. Yeah. Oh, you got me with that one.
The official Nightwing character trailer. I won't lie, I haven't even watched this trailer yet. I'm excited for Gotham Knights, but
I become less excited as the announcements come on. Actually,
why?
Well, first they introduced the way they travel, and that Red Hood has fucking superpowers. And the way Nightwing travels is hilariously a joke to me. He literally, how he traverses the open world from building to building, is I don't know what they call it, but basically it's like a Batman type contraption that he hangs onto. It's like a mechanical hang glider with jets that zooms him from one building to another, but it apparently appears out of thin air.
Interesting.
There's just so much about the game that is turning me away from it, surprisingly.
Yeah, like I said, I'm the more that I'm watching this game, and the less I'm intrigued to play it.
And plus, Red Hood, he I get it. He's supposed initially when I went in, I'm like, all right, all the characters have a class, they have a role, right? Red Hood is the tank. tanks are supposed to move slower and be more powerful, but they still have clearly adapted the Arkham style combat, and just the gameplay as Red Hood looks so
Bad.
painfully boring compared to like playing as Batman. Like the way he moves, the way he does everything, it could have been so much better.
Chris, are you hyped about Gotham Knights?
I mean, we'll try it, but
Oh, we will?
I mean, when I say we, I'm referring to me and Bacon and Cupcake.
Yeah. So,
I'm more excited for Suicide Squad.
know, yeah, I mean,
But that's not saying much. That's not saying
Yeah.
much. I'm just going to put that out there. The difference being Suicide Squad is actually part of the Arkham world, while for some ungodly reason, Arkham Knights isn't, even though Arkham Knights fits into the exact narrative of the end of Arkham Knight.
Yeah.
And Z, this is not your type of game, though.
No?
No, I give zero hoots or hollers about this nonsense.
See, you should play the Batman games. They're amazing.
I don't like Batman.
Screw whether or not you like him. The games themselves are so fun.
I mean, I guess that's the approach I took with the One Piece games, because I didn't watch the anime, but I played and enjoyed the games. So, like, I don't know.
Oh, the games are so fun.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really do superheroes unless they're anime superheroes, because I love My Hero Academia. But otherwise, I don't really do Marvel. I don't do DC. I don't have those types of interests.
All right, we'll continue the show, but I'll work on my pitch to her to get her to try the Batman games.
I watch this, right? Z, this is what you say.
Yeah.
Ryan, get the Saints Row game, and I'll try these other games.
No, because then I'll actually get the Saints Row game, and I know he will.
100%.
Yep.
I know how this works because I've done this. This is why that's why I'm in the middle of watching JoJo right now. I told my friends I would never watch it. My best friend kept begging me to watch it. And I'm like, I have no interest in it. It's ugly. I don't like the art style. It's just not my kind of thing. And he was just like, what can we do to get you to watch JoJo? So I got him to watch one of my favorite anime with me that my boyfriend would not watch with me.
Or on Host Club.
And because he watched it all the way through with me, like he said that he would, him and I are now watching JoJo. All of JoJo. The whole thing.
Moving on.
Finished the fourth.
Dan, you should know me better than this. I've done this to you recently. We made a bet where I told you if you did something, I would do something. And have I still played that? Have I still played that fucking game?
Nope.
Not even on my system.
Nope.
Read the contract before you make the deal, motherfucker.
Ryan said, he texts me and he says, because I was lacking in watching TV. I'm not a big TV watcher. Like, I'm finding myself not being a big TV watcher.
That's my world.
Yeah. And so he's like, you got to watch The Witcher. You got to watch The Witcher. And I'm like, okay, I'll get
It's
to
a
it.
fantastic fucking show.
It is. It really is good. And he goes, now one of my favorite games of all time is with The Witcher 3.
You and everybody else.
I own the original, I own the definitive edition, and I own the PC version.
You're talking about Wild Hunt specifically, because there are other Witcher games.
Yeah, the Witcher 3.
The 3.
Yeah. And yes, I have beaten the first one. I have beaten it on PlayStation a long time ago when it first came out. So I'm like, Ryan, you have to play this. If you like Skyrim, you're going to like The Witcher. Like, you're going to. And he's like, if you watch The Witcher, I'll play The Witcher. So I did. And he has yet to play The Witcher 3.
Read the contract, motherfucker. I didn't say when I'd play it. I just said I would.
That was my stipulation. Is I was just like, if we watch this before we watch JoJo, I will watch JoJo afterwards with you. So that's
fun fact for Dan, though. I've deleted a few games that I've decided I don't want anything to do with on my PS5, and I've actually re-downloaded The Witcher 3, so it's going to happen sooner than later.
Hey, yeah,
I have the official guide if you want it.
I don't want a guide. I'm going to figure shit out.
There you go.
It's
That's
such-
how
it's
that's how
such
I
a-
do things too.
I don't want to know what's going to happen. I don't want to know shit. I just want to figure it out and enjoy the ride.
Well, once again, I'm going to go on the Steam. When I get my Steam Deck, I'm going to put it on the Steam Deck. It is verified to play. That means I will be playing The Witcher handheld going places, and I love it.
That's the best thing about the Steam Deck. You can play games you never thought you'd be able to play handheld, and you can play them fucking anywhere.
Yeah, Chris, you played The Witcher, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah. So
I have also played The Witcher Wild Hunt.
yeah, it's a great game.
It's amazing. I really enjoy it. I like Skyrim better personally, but I do like it a lot.
Skyrim was a
about you?
blueprint. Let's be honest. Skyrim was a blueprint. It's going to be hard to beat that.
Some books were the blueprint.
Well, I'm talking about game-wise. Game-wise.
There's not too many similarities on. I mean, the type of video game, yes, but Skyrim does not have half of what The Witcher offers.
So, Chris, Dan keeps
Witcher also is missing a lot of what Skyrim offers. I will have you know.
It's a two-way street. I agree.
I have
100%.
a question for Chris, though. I have a question for because Dan keeps making that comparison to me. Your thoughts? He keeps trying to pitch The Witcher to me because I like Skyrim.
Okay.
Would you say that's an
want-
accurate way to pitch it to me?
Do you want Skyrim with monster bounties, with actual unique monster variants?
I like unique anything in video games. I don't like doing the same thing over and over and over again.
You would like The Witcher.
I say that playing the Division 2, but you know, in reality, I've drifted away from the Division 2 because I'm getting tired of it. I like variety in my games. Plus I like stories. I like going through and enjoying a good story, which is why I like the Uncharted games so much, or God of War.
And that's what I was saying with The Witcher. The Witcher, to me, the story is amazing. I'm not going to compare and say that Skyrim is a better story or Witcher is a better story. They're unique in its own self.
I don't even know the story of Skyrim. I got to be honest with you. I played that game for years of my life. I still don't know the fucking story.
How dare you?
I personally think that the biggest difference is the fighting style, and like the actual battle aspect of it, because that's what I love about Skyrim. I love any game that allows me to be an archer. I'm going to be an archer. Witcher, you don't have that. You have your two different types of swords, and then you get bombs. You know,
which is why Dan pitches this game to me, because I am an up close and personal type of fighter in games. I don't care about arching. I don't care about magic. Give me a sword. Give me an axe. Give me fucking any weapon in my hand that I'm cutting something in half with.
Witcher gives you two swords.
Yeah. Well,
one sword for humans, one sword for monsters.
That's another thing, like with The Witcher, like one of the things that I love with that, because you actually do get like a crossbow is so like when you're fighting a griffin, like right at the beginning, this is not a spoiler or anything, when you're fighting a griffin,
I've played the game enough to have fought the griffin.
Yeah, so like when it's dive bombing at you, you shoot the what is it? You shoot the your crossbow at it, and the thing will literally dive bomb into the ground. And like it's those little things. Like I think the thing that throws people off with The Witcher,
then once you ground it, that's when you take the sword and fucking
just start pounding it. Yeah, one of the things though with The Witcher that I think gets misplaced or people don't realize, and it took me a little bit of a learning curve with it, is that they hide so much in the reading material of how to do things compared to other games where it's just like go here. By the way, mix this potion. Like for you to figure out how to fight the griffin, you need to actually read the bestiary and
see. But Dan, this is something else you know about me. I love exploring the lore of games. Yeah. I read everything.
That's why I still think you're going to love The Witcher. I think you'll put more time in The Witcher than Skyrim. But
I highly doubt that. Yeah. It's an impossible task.
Z, you were going to say something.
Yeah, I was just going to actually say that I need to head out soon. I'm helping pet sit a ferret. He needs his medicine soon.
Okay. We'll move on to the next one.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. The next one's going to be the last thing, and then we'll go. So,
it's funny that you say the next one is the last thing because of the name of the last thing.
Yeah. So the last thing that they unveiled is The Last of Us Part 1. So first off,
remastered.
remastered from the ground up. I've looked at ever since I saw this
PS5.
announcement. It looks amazing. Everybody knows how much I love The Witcher. How much I love The Last of Us. How much I love The Last of Us 2. How much I love this. How much I'm waiting, and I cannot wait for the HBO series. I love The Last of Us. I am so biased about this, so I am opening it up to you guys.
Never played the games, but I will watch the shit out of that series just because I know the story is great, and I've seen the actor playing Joel.
Yep.
So if for anyone who doesn't know, the actor playing Joel is the same guy who plays the fucking Mandalorian.
Yep.
Great actor. I can give you a whole list of things he's been in that are amazing. That is going to be a show to fucking watch.
Yep.
I mean, I'm going to make Dan gasp here. I don't really care for it.
Oh, I don't care that you don't care for it. Like, to me, like this, everything in The Last of Us, to me, hits every single, like, savory note in my gaming, storytelling, playing, horror, scary, tension moments that I love.
Emotion, pure emotion, gripping you at your core, squeezing your heart. Yeah, it touches every single. I've known you. How long have I known you? It touches literally every note. It's the perfect game for you. It's the perfect game for you.
It's the perfect franchise. Like the fact that I can.
I'm not even talking about franchise. I'm talking about the first one alone was the perfect game for you.
Yeah. The fact, and then the second one, and I think I even said this when the second one came out in episodes way back, the fact that I can sit there and I can be so tensed up because I don't know what's happening, and then I stop the game and I need to stop myself. Like, I need to literally sit when I turn it off and be like, what the hell did I just play? Like, I love that. I love that tension. Like, you could pull the chair out from under me and I would still be in the sitting position. You know, that tense. Because I fucking love this franchise.
Did you poop on spot when that happened? Did you poop?
No.
I'm just checking.
So if you haven't played it and you can get the sequel on a PlayStation 5, or I'm sorry, not the sequel.
That's a game I've also never played.
So good. So that's why I'm leaving it. I'm leaving it to you guys for final thoughts on this.
I've never played it, so the announcement was the only reason I was excited about that announcement was for you. I knew how you'd react. I personally
could really care less.
I'm never going to play it, but
it's way too new of a game for them to do again.
No, I disagree 100%. The popularity of that franchise says differently. Trust me, people will laugh it up. People will lap that remaster up. Trust me, it's going to sell. It's going to do good numbers.
Yeah, the first one's 7 years old.
Especially with the series coming out and everything, you're going to get new fans coming in just because they enjoy the series that are going to go, oh shit, there's a game on the new systems, and they're going to fucking play it. Brilliant move on their part. Brilliant move.
And that's just my opinion. You know, I'm not a big fan of the franchise.
I'm not either. I don't ever plan on playing the games. I'm just saying it was a brilliant move on their part as far as being a business and making money. Brilliant move.
Well, you realize
with
that
a
the
new
first one
series
is
about to launch and you remaster it on new systems that people just got, and they're going to be like, shit, I love this series. Oh, it's based off a video game. Oh, shit, there's the game. Guess what they're going to do, even if they're not hardcore gamers? They're going to play the fucking game.
Yep. Oh, yeah, this is a perfect move with the... This is going to come out, and then the HBO series is going to come out. Absolutely, it's the perfect move. The game is 10 years old. The original game is 10 years old. They're remaking that from the ground up at 60 frames per second, 4K, brand new visuals, all of that. They literally are creating a game that they wanted to create, but because of hardware limitations, they couldn't back then. And now it's the game that they want to make. I see a definitive edition of Part 2 coming out. And then on top of that, they've also announced it's not going to be called Part 3, but it's going to be a multiplayer, another Last of Us game.
Yes,
so
it's a multiplayer game in the Last of Us universe.
Yep.
The only reason I'm willing to even download that is to play it with Dan.
Yep. So
that's it.
Z, have you played?
I have not. I have not. I pretty much share the same opinion, basically word for word, as Ryan. Where I'm like, I'm excited because I know how many people actually loved the first one. And I remember, honestly, I remember watching Jacksepticeye's playthrough of The Last of Us, when I was younger, and I think that it's amazing that they're taking a game and rebuilding it the way that they want to. I think it's really great that they're taking that step as opposed to just releasing a new game. I think that, like you guys said, it's really, really good timing to put this out, especially on new-gen consoles, and with the series coming up, it's gonna intersect pretty perfectly, especially for the fan base. And then when people watch the HBO show, because, you know, hey, what's this? I don't know what this is, let's go take a look. They're gonna like it, and then they're gonna be like, oh, there's games! Cool! And they're gonna play the game.
Exactly. Yeah. I think it's perfect marketing. Z, you hit
brilliant,
it
absolutely fucking brilliant on their part.
Yep.
Not a flaw in the execution, as far as I'm concerned. It's brilliant.
Yep. Well, and with that, we are going to end the show. Z, Ryan, Chris, this is our 60th show. I thank you guys for once again just joining us for as long as you have. I know that, you know, from shows that you've been on and other shows for listening, because I know you guys have supported through the whole thing. So 60 shows, episodes. I love it. I thank you guys so much for it. And with that, I say we say goodnight, and until next time.
We're only 9 away. We're close.
Good night, friends.